Ladies, what if I told you the secret to capturing a man's full attention isn't about doing more? It's about doing less. Not less of you, but less chasing, less waiting, and way more owning your worth. Let's get one thing straight. Men are wired to chase. It's in their nature. The moment you stop running after them, something shifts. Suddenly they start to notice. Why? Because men are drawn to what they feel they can't fully possess. And the woman who knows how to step back, not out of spite, but from a place of power, that's the woman who stands out. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to be cold, rude, or play silly games. That's not what confidence is about. True confidence is quiet. It's magnetic. It doesn't need to prove anything. A woman who understands her value doesn't beg for love, doesn't chase validation, and certainly doesn't put her life on hold waiting for someone else to choose her. She already knows she is the prize. You can see it in the way she walks into a room like she owns the space. In how she speaks, calm, assured, unapologetically herself. She doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. She doesn't wait by the phone hoping he'll call. She's out there living her life fully, and that kind of energy, it pulls people in. Men aren't used to that. They're used to women bending, adjusting, overextending for a crumb of attention. So, when a woman shows up whole, secure, and unattached, it throws him off in the best way. He starts to wonder, why isn't she chasing me? What makes her different? And that curiosity, that intrigue, it's the beginning of real attraction. Here's the truth. When a man doesn't have to earn your attention, he doesn't value it. But when he feels like he has to step up, when your time, your presence, your energy isn't just handed over easily, that's when you become unforgettable. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop caring so much, people start paying more attention? It's not magic, it's energy. When you're overly available, always giving, always adjusting, it comes off as desperate, and desperation pushes people away. But when you're focused on your own growth, your own happiness, your own path, that energy radiates confidence. It makes people want to be around you. It makes him want to be around you. Remember those times when you replied instantly to every message, canceled your own plans just to make time for him, ignored your own needs just to keep the peace? What happened? Did he appreciate it, or did he start to pull away? The harsh truth is, what's too easy often gets overlooked. But when you show up as someone with her own priorities, her own goals, her own life, you become a woman of substance, a woman of mystery, a woman worth chasing. Detachment isn't about being heartless. It's about having a strong center. It's about knowing that you are already complete. And when a woman carries that kind of energy, she doesn't need to run after anyone. Instead, the right man will run toward her. Men want what feels valuable. And what's more valuable than a woman who knows her worth? A woman who respects herself enough to walk away when she's not being treated right. A woman who understands that her life doesn't begin or end with any man's presence. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She chooses herself first. That's real power. And detachment is how she protects her heart. The truth is, not every man you meet is meant to stay. Some are here just to waste your time. Others might teach you a hard lesson. And many simply aren't ready for the depth of love you would offer. But when you're emotionally detached, not cold, just centered, you stop trying to force what isn't meant to be. You don't ignore red flags just because you're afraid of being alone. You don't settle for crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. When you're detached, your vision clears. You're no longer blinded by potential. You see reality. You see who a man truly is. You notice whether his actions align with his words. And when they don't, you don't beg for clarity. You don't chase for change. You simply walk away because you know deep down you deserve better. Far too many women stay in situations that drain them, hoping things will get better, terrified of letting go. But here's a hard truth. Holding on to the wrong thing is often more painful than letting go. A man will show you who he is early on. If he's inconsistent now, he'll be inconsistent later. If he disrespects you now, he won't magically become respectful one day. And if you're not his priority now, don't expect to become one down the road. Detachment gives you strength, the strength to see the truth and act on it. When you're detached, you don't overthink a delayed reply. If he doesn't text back, you move forward, not backward. If he plays games, you don't join in, you exit. If he doesn't appreciate your presence, you don't try harder, you let go. Because a high-value woman doesn't chase, she attracts. And men can't resist a woman who carries herself like she's whole. They can't resist the woman who says, "I'm not afraid to walk away if I'm not being treated right." That's the kind of woman who commands respect. That's the kind of woman men step up for. That's the kind of woman who ends up with a man who recognizes her value from the very beginning. Have you noticed this strange pattern? The moment you stop caring so much, people start noticing you more. That's not luck, it's human nature. When you pull back and redirect your energy inward, that's when they start coming around. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. Desperation is loud, and it pushes people away. But quiet confidence, that draws them in. It's magnetic. Men, especially, are wired to chase. They're built to pursue, to earn, to value what doesn't come too easily. That's why when you're always available, always initiating, always showing up no matter what, he has no reason to work for your attention. But when you're detached, when you show him, not tell him, that you're perfectly fine with or without him, that's when he starts taking notice. Let's be honest. When was the last time you heard a man say, "I'm so excited because she texts me every second, calls me all the time, and drops everything for me"? Exactly. You don't hear that. Because what men admire isn't convenience, it's challenge. They value what they earn, what they build, what they fight for. It's why they love their businesses, their goals, their ambitions. Because those things took effort. And the same goes for relationships. A woman who is emotionally independent, who doesn't base her self-worth on his attention, becomes unforgettable. She's intriguing. She's unpredictable in the most beautiful way. She has her own life, her own dreams, her own rhythm, and that makes her captivating. Now picture this, you're dating a man, and every time he texts, you respond within seconds. He calls, and you drop everything to answer. He wants to see you, and you rearrange your day to make it happen. In the beginning, sure, He may enjoy the attention, but over time, it becomes predictable. There's no spark, no mystery, no challenge. Now, flip the script. He texts you and you reply when you're free, because you're actually busy living your life. He calls, but you're in the middle of something, so you get back to him later. He asks to see you, but you already have plans. So you let him know your availability, and suddenly he's more interested. Why? Because now your time is valuable, and when your time is valuable, you become valuable. Men don't fall for women who chase them. They fall for women who give them space to chase. When you step back, he starts stepping forward. When you stop making him your universe, he wants to become a part of yours. Some women confuse detachment with playing games, but let's clear that up. It's not manipulation, it's maturity. It's knowing your value and honoring it. It's refusing to build your world around a man, because you already have a world of your own. And when a man senses that energy, that calm, collected, radiant independence, it awakens something in him. It draws him closer. He wants to earn his place in your life, not be handed it. That's the kind of woman men chase. That's the kind of woman they respect. And that, my friend, is the kind of woman they remember. She's the prize. Not because she tries to be, but because she knows she is. When a woman doesn't need a man but still chooses him, that's when he realizes she's different. That's when he starts to step up. That's when he knows he has to work to keep her, because now he sees her not as an option, but as a gift. There's a reason why men respect women who set clear boundaries. Those boundaries aren't just lines, they're declarations of self-worth. When a woman gives too much too soon, her time, her energy, her heart, it sends the message that she's easy to get. And in a man's mind, what's easy to get is easy to lose. But a woman who respects herself, she doesn't give everything away at once. She makes a man earn her attention. She holds her standards. And when she's not treated right, she's gone. No drama, no begging, just distance. And that's what makes her unforgettable. Men are naturally drawn to what they can't completely have. They thrive on pursuit. They live for the challenge. That's why detachment is so powerful. When a woman is detached, she's not chasing, she's attracting. She's not needy, she's radiant. She's not waiting to be chosen, she's doing the choosing. Think about that one woman everyone seems to admire, the one who never lacks as attention. Is she constantly texting first? Is she the one rearranging her life to please a man? No. She's the one who keeps her mystery, the one who men make plans for, the one who holds her head high and never settles for less than she deserves. That's what detachment does. It changes the power dynamic. Suddenly, you're not the one chasing love. You're the one love comes to. You stop stepping down, and men are forced to step up. You stop overextending, and they start reaching out. You stop being taken for granted, and they begin to value your presence. So if you've been giving too much, if you've been the one always available, always giving, always hoping, if you've been making a man your top priority while he treats you like an option, it's time to detach. It's time to reclaim your energy. It's time to remember that your worth has never depended on anyone else's validation. Your value doesn't come from a man's attention. It comes from the way you see yourself. And the moment you truly embrace that truth, The moment you stop living for someone to notice you is the moment everything begins to shift. Because now you're no longer the one doing all the chasing. You're the one being chased. You're no longer pouring all your energy into someone else. You're receiving energy back. You're no longer settling for half-hearted love. You're attracting the full, real thing. A woman who knows how to detach never hands over her power. She can love deeply, but she never forgets to love herself more. She can want something to work, but she won't force it to happen. When a woman is detached, she doesn't tolerate almost. She doesn't make excuses for inconsistency. She doesn't chase someone who's not showing up fully. Instead, she turns her focus inward. She nourishes her own dreams. She builds her own life. She surrounds herself with people who uplift her. She creates a world where her happiness isn't dependent on anyone. And that energy is irresistible. That kind of grounded, joyful independence is what attracts the right man. The one who sees her value from the beginning. The one who puts in effort without being asked. The one who doesn't need to be convinced, because he already knows she's rare. There's nothing more powerful than a woman who knows when to walk away. A woman who refuses to stay where she's not appreciated. A woman who doesn't beg for love because she naturally attracts it. That's the woman who wins, not just in love, but in life. Because she understands something too many forget. Real. Love doesn't require you to lose yourself. Real love doesn't require you to chase. Real love flows, calm, mutual, and true.